You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scott McKay.
How's it going, gentlemen? This is your main man, Scott McKay from X&Y Communications, coming at you with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop Podcast. Today, I guess somewhat uncharacteristically, I'm going to talk about pickup with you guys. As you know, the pickup artist movement, as we know it, has been dead as a doornail for years and years now. But, you know, it's still a solid skill to have, to be able to go out and meet women everywhere you go. And as you know, I often have guys here for what I call 10-plus live weekends where we go out and meet women in field, not just all day long, but also, of course, in the evenings as well. We go out and hit the nightlife. And I don't know about where you live, but basically discotheques as we know it are out of style around here. What happens is people go to these outdoor venues where they're playing cornhole and guys are walking around on stilts and there's fire eater girls and all this crazy stuff. And people are having a beer and sitting at big picnic tables or chairs or even big swings, you know, that adults can fit on and having a good old time. And it never fails. There will always be groups of 3 or 4 or even 5 women, and they're having a decent time together. And I'll say to the guy I'm with, hey, let's go talk to those women. And the guy will respond with some level of shock because, of course, it's kind of intimidating for the vast majority of us to go talk to 4 or 5 women expecting a good outcome. But see, here's the thing. Having done these 10-plus live weekends for oh my goodness, 17 years now, there has never once been a rude rejection. Like a woman throws a drink at us or says, get away from us, you little twits. Can't you tell, you know, we're trying to be social together here and we don't want to hear from you, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's never happened once in 17 years. And you're probably wondering, well, how can that be the case? How can I run a track record like that? Well, it's very simple. Contrary to quote-unquote conventional wisdom in the pickup artistry space, you know, from years ago, we're not running game on these women. We're not trying to pick them up. We're not hitting on them. And we're certainly not trying to get laid the same night we meet them. There's no agenda there. What I believe in doing and what I show guys how to do is simply walking up to a woman, or in this case, a group of women, being warm, light, friendly, and talking to them about them. And being interesting, and of course, what's the number one rule when you're dealing with women you've never met before? Make them feel safe and comfortable. And that's accomplished very easily with humor and with levity. The next thing you know, you have groups of women not only enjoying the conversation with us, but inviting us to join them, sit down with them, sometimes even buying drinks for us. And here's something that I've noticed time after time after time again. And it flies in the face of everything you've ever heard about how to meet women out in field, out, you know, in real life, day game, night game, wherever. Compared to meeting women one-on-one, which seems difficult enough for most guys, right? We tend to especially cringe at the concept of opening a set, quote unquote, of multiple women, you know, 3 or 4 women like I'm talking about here. What I've noticed time and time again, gentlemen, is it's actually easier to talk to 4 women than 1 woman. And here's why. If you're talking to 1 woman, there's an off chance that she may be having a bad day. She may not be very socially gifted, may not have good social skills at all. She may be intimidated by talking to you in general, or in some other way not be all that pleasant, interesting, or even nice to you. But here's the thing. When there's a group of 4 women and you are confident that you're being light and warm and there's nothing to quote-unquote reject that you're offering them, you're simply being a decent human being in a good mood, having a potentially interesting conversation with her, there's no way in hell all 4 of those women are going to be in that negative or distant frame of mind, right? And here's what actually happens in real life when you approach 4 women. Even if 1 or more of those women aren't really up for the conversation, 1 of the other women will be. And she'll be like, oh, hello, you know, come sit down with us. Oh, yeah, she'll be laughing at your jokes. And the other 3 women will rise up to meet that energy. Do you see what I'm getting at there? It's like an economy of scale. Because there are 4 women there, there's 4 times the likelihood that at least one of them is going to be friendly and engaging and laugh at your jokes and be bubbly and cute for you. And the rest of them, they may be distant at first, but they'll come along because they'll see you're interesting and fun. And after all, their friends having a good time talking to you, and they will too. Gentlemen, I've never seen a group of 4 women all be, for lack of a better way of putting it, nasty to me and or to the guy who's along with me for a 10 plus live weekend. It's just never happened. Now, if you're having a tough time wrapping your head around this, listen, I completely get it, because what we've been told our entire adult lives by the pickup artist movement and indeed by most men's dating advice is that women are trying to reject us. You have to bypass her rejection mechanism. She's going to automatically say, oh, I have a boyfriend, even if she doesn't. But I'm telling you, in real life, most people, men and women actually, okay, if someone comes to them and they're nice and they're engaging and they seem friendly and they don't mean you any harm, our response isn't to rip their head off socially. Our response is to be engaging in return. And we see this, talking to women in retail and waitresses, women hanging out, walking their dogs, women at the farmer's market. Indeed, sometimes people have a hard time recognizing the fact that there's a stranger talking to them, because most of us run around with stranger danger because that's what we were taught as children. Don't talk to strangers, and we're never taught how to unlearn that. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are reticent at first when someone is getting their attention or engaging them who they've never met before. But what you do there is you hold space for a couple or 3 seconds, and the person goes, oh, someone's talking to me, and they're actually being friendly, and then they perk up and enjoy the conversation. I mean, guys, think about it. If a woman came up to you, whether you're attracted to her or not, and she's being friendly and nice to you, are you going to say something mean to her in response? No, of course not. You'd have to be some kind of psychological maniac to be mean to people who don't mean you any harm. And as much as women are security-seeking creatures, if you're warm and you're light and you give them space up front, they're not going to rip your head off either. And indeed, the more women you talk to, within reason, you don't walk into a situation where there are so many women you need like a megaphone to talk to all of them. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 women, 6 at the most, where you present yourself at the end of their table and say, hey, ladies, how's it going? Or how do you all know each other? Or let me guess whose birthday it is, et cetera, et cetera. In those situations, at least one, and by the way, usually more than one of those women, will be happy to engage with you. It is not uncommon, by the way, to have all of them be friendly and engaging because, hey, those are the kind of friends they are. They attracted each other because they're fun and engaging, because they're similar in personality type, and now you're going to be in on the fun. So the last thing I do need to mention here is, given we've been trained to specifically go after women we're attracted to, it's a little bit different of a mindset you have to have when you walk into a group of 4 women, 5 women, 6 women, because you're going to have to engage all of them equally, right? Yes, there will probably be 1 or 2 of them you're more sexually interested in, at least potentially, than the others, but you do have to engage all of them equally up front. And here's the interesting part. Most women, even in a situation like that, will still recognize that you're approaching them and talking to them because you're potentially interested in them and maybe even romantically. So what will happen in those situations is once they like you and once you've put them all at ease, right? If there are women who are taken in that group, they'll point out who the single ones are. And they probably already know you're after the one that's most attractive. They're big girls. They understand that. They'll highlight her and maybe even help the 2 of you pair off. It's actually really interesting to watch. And most guys miss all these opportunities. Why? Because they're too chicken to talk to more than one woman at once. Hell, they're usually too chicken to talk to even one woman. And like I said, guys, I'm flabbergasted by how little I see in field of anybody talking to strangers at all. Even in retail, I see people go up to the perfectly attractive woman working there and go, yeah, I need a pair of Nikes in size 10.5. And the woman will go, all right, here's a pair of Nikes in size 10.5. She's not had any fun all day. Nobody has made her day lighter, more fun in any way, shape, or form. So when you come along and you represent a pattern interrupt, helping her have fun, helping her enjoy her job more, the results are amazing. all of a sudden she turns into this bright, happy female human being for you. And when you're out at night or you see 4 women at lunch and you talk to them, there's a chance to light up 4 Women's Day. And the results are clear, they're consistent. It's just that we as men need to embrace this challenge and accept the simple fact that, well, guess what? It might actually work out well, and in fact, it usually does. It's just that you have to put it to the test. And once you do 3 or 4 times, guess what? You'll be a believer also. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scott at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.